Boom Studios has released a platoon of amazing books throughout the years. Ufology, Something is Killing the Children, House of Slaughter, which yes is a spin-off of Something is Killing the Children, but I don't care. That book is amazing. And plenty of others. My favorite out of the studio, however, is The Many Deaths of Laila Starr. This book showed me the importance of the journey of life. The Many Deaths of Laila Starr is a colorful, masterful story about the importance of life written by Ram V and illustrated by Felipe Andrade. The story's use of primary colors, mainly purples, blues, and reds, gives the story a feel I've never really felt before. Andrade's art style is beautiful and makes the story 100 times more engaging and perfectly fits Ram V's writing. Ram V is an Eisner-winning author with series like Blue and Green, Paradiso, Black Mamba, and of course, The Many Deaths of Laila Starr. Not to mention, he was also on Detective Comics with Batman. Ram was born in India, which is a highlight and important fact when talking about The Many Deaths of Laila Starr because of its obvious influence of Indian culture. This is beautifully brought to life by Felipe Andrade, who is also an award-winning illustrator. These two are one of my favorite pairings in comic books. It sometimes feels like their work perfectly complements each other, with Ram V's incredible imagination and Andrade's ability to bring it to life. Today, I'll be telling you why you should read this story and why it is one of my favorite comic books of all time. The story takes place in Mumbai and starts already establishing the dynamic between Darius, the man who invents immortality, and Laila, switching between the two tales in the first couple of pages. We then see Death, inspired by Kali, the Hindu god of death, in which she's having a conversation with God. God then tells her that she's fired. Why? Because of a mortal on Earth who will bring eternal life. Without the job she's had for an eternity, what is she to do now? She's given an opportunity to live as a mortal, and she takes it, but strikes a deal with Agni, the fire god of Hinduism, to take over a mortal body closest to the baby Darius. So she takes over the body of recently deceased Laila Starr. She makes her way through the hospital with the help of a ghost named Moon. Her goal? Very, very simple. Eliminate the reason she's unemployed. As the avatar of death itself, it should be easy to take one baby's life. As she even said herself before entering the nursery, she's killed millions. But when faced with the baby, she just can't bring herself to do it. She's then found by the police and races out of the hospital. But when she gets out there, she dies. She gets hit by a truck, to be specific. But she's then brought to life by the Hindu god of life. At least I presume. I couldn't really find anything on that man. But this time when she wakes up, it's been 8 years since Darius was born. This story might be short, but because of this system that Ram V uses, he gets his point across without having to stretch the story unnecessarily and focuses on the main points. This also symbolizes how fast a short life can be, and this is proved by Darius' development and eventually why he creates immortality. We not only follow Darius, but Death's mortal journey. This book shows the importance of life by using these two characters. These subtle encounters with death as a child to when he's an adult are important factors that lead him to invent immortality. When we're born, we see the world in wild, wondrous ways. Bigger, colorful, and more mythic, somehow understanding the least while being the most curious. When we first encounter death, not as an abstract idea, but as an intimate thing, it's something shocking, confusing, and disorienting. It's exactly that for Darius as well. As when he turns 8, the man that he once played with in the summer, a hired worker of the family and a caretaker named
Barden,
has passed away. And to this point, most children have been told people that die, they just go away and they never come back. But who's to say that it's not just like taking a trip to a far-off country or something? Childhood is when the lines of reality are the most malleable, where any and every idea, no matter how strange or absurd, is open to the mind. Barden is dead now. Darius will never see him again. He is lost forever, the idea of which is devastating for young Darius, as it is any child. The author Ram V uses poems by a Kripuri, which is a pen name for Rupi Kaur, a Canadian poet that describes the beauty of life. I understand people's gripes with Rupi Kaur, but just bear with me. The way the poems act in the story just propels the narrative to incredible heights. Like this one in issue 5, the last issue. I want to arrive at the end with scars to show for rash decisions made by a careless heart. When I read this on my first read, I cried. Like actually. While I already knew immortality wouldn't be the best thing, this poem really puts it into perspective for me. Why have no scars to show at the end? Wouldn't it be more fulfilling to be able to have an end, knowing how your life has been, and to reflect on the decisions that you've made? At the end, when all is said and done, there comes a desire to reflect. Everybody wants to look back on the life they've lived, the things they've done. They want to contrast the final realities with all their prior youthful expectations and dreams. What panned out, what didn't? Is this really how they wanted it to end? Is it what they did all they did for? You take stock, or at least you try to. The story resonated with me majorly, and the dynamic between Darius and Laila is one I fell in love with. The side characters don't really have major roles, but fit their parts nicely and mush into the story. This story is obviously influenced by Hindu culture, focusing on the main theme of life between the mortal and the divine. My favorite scene to talk about without spoiling much is the beginning of issue 3. The colors are absurd and give the party a real party feel, just of absolute euphoria. We see Laila slowly descend into mortality, even using cigarettes and acting more and more mortal by the day. We then see Darius in his adolescence and his girlfriend who is in the middle of breaking up with him, who tells him life is too short to arrive at the end with no broken hearts. The narration in this book is perfect. Laila's extremely casual narrating mixed with the amazing backdrop of Mumbai creates a feeling I have almost never felt. The more you look, the more images you will find that whisper familiarity to the viewer in the dramatically shaded world, which is, in my opinion, the mark of not only an exciting book, but a book that knows what it is. Andrade illustrates the setting in Mumbai deftly, with sketchy lines and brilliant warm tones of orange, yellows, and reds, contrasted with neon blues and shadowy purples. Panels are drawn with dynamic, organic lines that make the foreground feel visually appealing. The city of 22 million is portrayed in its hectic but expressive jumble of ideas and cultural influences. It almost wouldn't make sense for Ram V to immerse his heroine in any other city in the world. When reading Laila Starr, the best thing I can say is just take your time and appreciate what you're reading. In the end, I hope I convince you even a little bit to read this story, as it moved me a lot, and I hope it has the same effect for you.